So I see some of you have maybe arthritic kind of conditions, osteoporosis, all that sort of. But you're not drinking enough water. Yeah. Anybody else?
Dr. Hulen, I read something about pendulum when you talk to the child.
Yeah. I'm saying you can do it without the pendulum. Better to not have, at least with this group. See, my friend Joe Batali has done the universe a favor, because all of you are like let's say let's say at the end we want to create a particular food. So all of you show up because you're going to contribute to this final product. And the final product, which is you using the fern, will get at all these super viruses, including HIV, all that stuff, you'll be able to go with it. But you don't think you can do it, see? Some of you gone, what? HIV? I don't know. Do it. But you see, he did us a favor. The right people showed up. If one wrong person showed up, we wouldn't be able to do it. This is why in our classes, when I do the foundation, I'm cleaning so only the right people show up, as opposed to promoting it. Go for it, you know. Oh, then all of a sudden you see everybody, and then one person who shouldn't be there, you go, oh, shit, you know. I mean, really. Or the right people show up, and you don't clean, and he sits in the chair that he should be sitting over here. I mean, listen, that's why you do the cleaning, so everybody gets configured in the right place. And so now he sits next to somebody who has an idea, and they go, boom, there's a product there. But if he's sitting somebody, let me give you an example. In Calabasas, California, a woman was sitting next to another woman, and she, sorry, and she came up to me complaining. She said, that woman has the worst perfume. I mean, stinks. And I said, oh, okay. And I did my cleaning. And then as I was doing my cleaning, she said, oops, I can do the cleaning. So we had a break. I don't know what she did. She went off to the bathroom. She came back, and she said to me after the second break, she said, I couldn't smell it anymore. No. It's only our stuff, you know. And we got a lot of it, you know. Yeah. But we want to thank my friend, Dr. Vitale, because the right people showed up to be able to produce a cleansing process that will work on things that no science can do, because you were configured in a way for which we are grateful. So I want to thank Suzanne and Bruce and all the people involved. So any other thing before we take another break? Sorry. Yes.
I had the good fortune of speaking to someone that's been to quite a few of your events this morning before breakfast, and she told me that she had a real hard time with mantras. I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. And so I thought about that for a minute, and I had an idea. So I'll form the question based on the idea. For people who don't think in words, maybe they think in pictures or feelings, is there something that those people can do that's different than the words?
Sure. So in their mind, they can assign it, but you have to watch it. You have to ask divinity, okay, what would be the best way for me to, if I'm a visual person, which I have to tell you, if they clean, they'd be fine, but just let's go that route anyway. So you can actually clean and talk to divinity, and divinity will give you certain kinds of logos. So if you look throughout the hotel, you will see different logos. You will see, for example, this logo, and this is a very important logo. You will see the logo of the fern I showed you. You will see it on a quilt in the lobby area. But better just to clean. Get your own. Yeah.
I wanted to know where we can get a copy of.
You got to go a little slower for me.
I would like to know where to get a copy of the small white book.
You cannot get it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It can only be gotten if you take the course. Because if I give you the book, you would have no idea what it is about. It needs to be like anything my friend Joe Vitale does. Whatever material he might share it's part of a presentation. And the class that I teach for the foundation has certain items in it that you would not, if I gave it out of that context, you wouldn't, it would be meaningless. Anything else? Yes.
When you're cleaning with the fern, is it like the cornmeal where you only need a little piece, or is it better to have all leaf?
For example, before I enter the room, I use the fern. I just say fern. Move in. If I'm about to eat something, fern. But I've talked to the child already. I've talked to it for about a week before that. So you have to talk to the child. But now I come into this room. This room has super viruses in it. It's in everybody. This is why Dominique says this is the group that really get at the stuff. Yeah, we're carrying these super viruses that nobody will be able to solve because we're the ones that are responsible for them. Since we brought it in, we should clean it up.
We're talking about the coaching program, and Lee forgot to mention that if you fill this out, you can hand it to her or Anya or somebody, Zion, Margot. Raise your hand where it can be handed to. Just hand it to them. Okay, so fill out the registration form if interested, hand it to them. If you have questions, go ahead and ask them as well. I got a major surprise for you right at the end of this, which is coming up pretty swiftly. You going to be ready for that surprise?
Yes, sir.
Who are your companions with this surprise?
Raise your hand, companions.
Very interesting. When did you find time to rehearse?
Outside. Got some whatever it takes people.
Got some whatever it takes people. Okay. I want to know what kind of questions you have right now, comments, feedback. You know, one of the things I'm real curious about, too, and I see she's going to need a mic back there. One of the things I'm very curious about, too, is several people here were in the original Zero Limits event, the private one. That was in Austin, Texas last January. How many people were here? Were there? They all left, right? Bruce was there. Narissa was there. Craig's not putting up his hand. I don't remember.
Suzanne was there.
Suzanne was there. All the people who were at the original one have evaporated. They're gone. They've gone to the next plane. That's it. This is what happens after you graduate from Zero Limits. You're gone from the earth. I was curious to know, Bruce, for example, do you have any comments, any changes that took place from you from taking the first one to this point in time?
Yes, sir, I do. Thank you for the question. Probably one of the one bit of new information that I thought was really important was the information about the mother and the child. The last time I was on Canopoli Beach was 18 years ago. This is not a long story, and I wasn't paid to say this. I had some real issues with the mother and the child, and I wish I'd had that information 18 years ago so I could have cleaned. So I don't know this for sure, but I kind of feel like my revisit to Canopoli to hear about the mother and the child is full circle. So that's what rings a bell for me, mother and child information. It's the most important relationship.
Comments, feedback, questions? Yes, right over here.
Raise your hand, please.
I love you. Joe, I want to comment on you.
On me?
Thanks
Should
to
I leave
Dr.
the room? Should I leave the room while you do it?
No. I'm one of the few that, like you were just talking about, that have been through a process with you. I was at Beyond Manifestation 1, Beyond Manifestation 2, Zero Limits, and now this. And I have seen such a transformation in you. And to be the observer watching you, and to be the person that's leading based upon what you've learned from Dr. Lin. I just have to thank you for that. You're the example and the model that I look to, and I'm thankful for learning and understanding. You've changed my life, and because of you changing my life, the ripple effect, I think, will be tremendous.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Wow. Please note that I'm just doing what's there for me to do. Whatever she sees, whatever transformation, it is not something that I am trying to achieve. I'm just doing what's there for me to do. There was a fellow in here, and she has her hand up. We'll get to her in a second. And also there? And also there, okay. There was a fellow here yesterday. He didn't come back today, but he had other things to do. Wasn't anything we said, I don't think. And he came up to me last night, and he looked me right in the eye, and he says, I have to confess something to you. And I said, okay, what? Bracing myself for anything. Clean, clean, clean. You never know what's going to show up. And he said, I thought you were nothing but a shyster. He said, you have that company called Hypnotic Marketing. You write these hypnotic books. You're known as this marketing guy. You market all over the internet. You're sending out emails all the time. And I just assumed that you found something to latch on to that you can sell, a self-development product of some sort. You found Dr. Len and you're using him to make a buck. And he said, so I came in here with these preconceived ideas. And my mind was thinking, you paid all this money and came all the way over here with that kind of a thought in your head? He said, that's pretty bold, isn't it? Why would it even come? Why did he come? And he said he was checking me out, is what he said. He said he wanted to find the truth. And he said, what I found was somebody who's absolutely sincere, who is dedicated to his connection to the divine, and is trying to get there while he's helping other people follow that road as well. And he gave me a hug. And then he left. And he never came back. And I think that while I love the acknowledgement, and while I love the acknowledgement that he gave me, and it's wonderful feedback for me, it's wonderful confirmation for me, it's wonderful to see and hear what your view of me and my journey is all about, I'm just playing my part. I am just doing my best to get here, and then when the little inspiration comes up that says do something like 0 limits 2, okay, salute, do 0 limits 2. And I put out the word, and 120 people, absolutely beautiful people, come from all over the world. Suzanne, did we work very hard to sell this out?
We never do. we just answer the phone.
Yeah, we just answer the phone. She said we never do. Mm-hmm. That's how easy all of this becomes. But again, the point that I want to point out is I am just focusing on cleaning, and I learned that from him.